elementary school.
Elementary school? There's a UFC fighter. His last name is Feely, and that's what he goes by, Touchy Feely. Yeah. Sometimes cops act like they're in elementary school too. I've seen that a lot. Yeah, true.
And then how many guys do you hear about that do something inappropriate, or they get mad and they use the curse word, right? How often does that happen?
You mean law enforcement officer or the people?
How many people get in the news, or you hear about a cop that got upset and yelled at somebody? Or,
you mean being discourteous? The word that actually gets cops in trouble when you put it on the complaint?
It's a little bit of trouble, right? But how many times do you hear about that?
I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Like how many times? What's a lot to you?
Every single day, a new video.
Every single day, new video from the whole nation.
Entire nation.
Right. So it's probably, what percentage of interactions do you think turn out with a negative turnout that you hear about? What do you think the percentage is? It's going to be extremely low. Extremely low. I probably contacted 50 people today, including.
You take anyone to jail today?
No.
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 Those are good statistics.
Not really. Maybe I missed a crime.
Well, I mean, yeah, for law enforcement, it's not good statistics, but at the same time, yeah. All right.
Why do you think I take somebody to jail for?
Can I ask you a question now?
Sure, go ahead.
All right.
I'm just saying, because you're saying all these things.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like they're very well thought through.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the place where facts matter and accountability comes first. Today, we're looking at a conversation that reveals how out of touch some officers can be with the very Constitution they promised to defend. IT begins as a normal discussion, talking about good policing, statistics, and taking pride in serving the public. But then, everything changes. A simple question about the First Amendment is asked, and the officer suddenly can't respond. The basic rights he swore to protect seem to slip his mind. It's more than just surprising. It's concerning. What happens next clearly shows how understanding the law can be more powerful than authority itself. Stay with us, because this moment says a lot.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough, right? I ask every law enforcement officer this one question, and I'm finding a pattern here. There are 5 fundamental freedoms within the First Amendment. This is not an opinion. It's part of your job to know this. What are they?
This is a loaded question.
No. It's so simple, bro.
Which ones? Tell me which ones.
The 5 fundamental freedoms of the First Amendment. What are they?
What are they? I don't know. Just tell me. You tell me.
Bro, that's part of your job. You swore an oath to that.
Bro. I told you it's a loaded question.
You see what I'm saying? It's not a loaded question.
Of course it is. What's up, sir? How are you?
I just saw some.
I know. I've been trying to talk to the guy. He's trying to load me up. How you been?
It's a legitimate question because this is actually part of your job, bro. You're supposed to know this because you actually swore an oath to this. You swore an oath to this.
I know you don't like me just because I wear a uniform.
That's not true, bro. That's not true. That's not true.
Why would you ask me a loaded question that you think I would get wrong?
That is part of your job.
Why would you ask me the question?
That's part of your job.
Why would you ask me the question?
So, how I see you got 2 French fries, right? So,
That's a nice way to put it.
yeah,
it's respectful.
No, that's not true. That's not true because a law enforcement officer is the one that taught me that.
Yeah.
Bro, don't get a negative thought about me, bro. Like, don't. I have not.
You made fun of my name.
Feely, touchy feely.
Yeah, you made fun of my name.
I wasn't making fun.
It was disrespectful and rude. Why would you do that? You think I'd be happy about that?
I think there's a fighter with the last name Feely. His nickname is Touchy Feely.
Okay.
I didn't mean it as disrespect.
As the conversation continues, the auditor raises a question every citizen has the right to ask. What are the 5 basic freedoms protected by the First Amendment? Instead of answering, the officer brushes it off and calls it a trick question. But it isn't. It's a core part of his role. When someone in public service can't name rights like freedom of speech, press, religion, assembly, and petition, it highlights a serious gap in awareness. The atmosphere grows tense. The camera doesn't move, and the silence says a lot. This isn't about being confrontational. It's about learning in a real moment. It's a situation that calls for thought and understanding, not defensiveness. Yet, instead of stepping up to the responsibility, the officer reacts by shutting down.
Yeah, you don't have to get all up in your feelings, bro. These are legitimate questions. Just like the First Amendment was a legitimate question.
You're not hurting my feelings.
And I know this off the top of my head. You're the one that's supposed to know this, right? You're the one that's supposed to know this because you swore an oath to get that job, did you not?
I did.
You did. And this is part of your job. You swore an oath to this. But why do you not know it?
What was the oath I swore?
You swore an oath to to protect and defend the Constitution. Did you not?
I swear to the 5 First Amendments? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, you did. You know what the Second Amendment is, right?
No, I don't. Tell me.
You know what it is.
I don't, man. Tell me.
This is kind of sad, bro, because you have your 2 chevrons, right? You have your 2 chevrons, and you don't even know what the First Amendment is. Think about that, though. This is actually part of your job, and you don't know it.
You're assuming that.
It's true. You said you didn't know it. You said.
Yeah, a little bit.
I see you coming off as a
Is it my body language that's doing it? Is that what it is?
Irresponsible.
Yeah.
Just to point that out.
Oh.
Freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, and freedom to petition your government for redress of grievances. That means I can bellyache. Even if I'm being rude or whatever, I'm not under policy. You guys, when you guys are rude sometimes, and I gotta say, your body, you're not being rude, like you're not being, how would I say, intimidating.
The auditor stays calm and doesn't give in. He reminds the officer that taking an oath isn't just a routine step. It's a commitment to the people. You promised to uphold these rights. So why don't you know them? The silence that follows speaks louder than words. The auditor's tone remains respectful, but firm enough to leave no room for excuses. The officer tries to laugh it off and change the subject, but the truth stands its ground. Then the auditor clearly lists all 5 freedoms, without hesitation. In that moment, it's not just about knowing the words. It shows confidence and responsibility in action. It also proves that recording and questioning authority isn't disrespectful. It's actually a direct expression of the very rights protected by the First Amendment.
Being defensive, and I don't mean to come off as defensive. No, these are not loaded questions.
We started out meeting each other, you made fun of my name, and then you worked into adding me a loaded question, asking me a loaded question.
That was not a loaded question, man. It's a legitimate question, bro. And you're going to see this later on, and you're going to realize how important it is that question is, bro.
Important to who?
So, when you ask me,
Important to who?
it should be important to you, because this is part of your job, man. You swore an oath to do.
More assumptions.
No, you swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution.
Have you ever protected somebody's freedom to assembly?
Always, every day.
You do? How do you do it?
Well, I just remind people that they have these certain rights that, see, I believe that freedom should be the topic on every dinner table in America every single night, right? Right or wrong? Isn't the foundation of this country built on freedom?
Yeah.
Right? So,
you can say that.
right. And so I believe that freedom should be the topic on every single dinner table in America every single night. That means we the people should be talking to our families.
Why don't you just talk to your kids about their day?
Hey, bro, football statistics and baseball statistics are a lot. What's your favorite football team?
I don't follow football.
What's your favorite baseball team, or hockey or NASCAR, whatever?
I don't follow that.
Statistics. We seem to know more about bullshit.
At this point, the tension feels deeper than just a simple exchange. It starts to touch on bigger ideas. The officer, still on the defensive, begins to realize this isn't only about the law. It's about awareness. The auditor explains that freedom isn't just a concept. It's something we're responsible for every day. He makes a strong point. These rights should be talked about at the dinner table across the country. And he's right. Many people can easily recall sports scores, celebrity news, or movie details, yet struggle to name their basic rights. This goes beyond simple lack of knowledge. When people lose touch with their freedoms, it becomes easier for control to take hold. That's why moments like this are important. They serve as a reminder of what truly matters and what could be lost if we're not paying attention.
Marvel movies, we take our kids to the theaters, Disney, all kinds of shit. We're entertained. But what we're not doing as a people in this country, bro, is learning what our rights are.
You're saying that we all do that. It's not true.
Well, it's not true for me because I know a lot more about the Constitution than you do.
Well, you think you do.
I think I do. You're right. What is the Ninth Amendment? What is the Ninth Amendment? What is it? What is the Ninth Amendment? Right here, right now. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm gonna teach you the Ninth Amendment. Yeah. No. Asking you these important questions that you swore no to, and you're supposed to know this. What is the Ninth Amendment? What's the Ninth Amendment? But you swore no to this, bro. You swore no to this.
Answer my question. What have you done specifically to defend this?
I'm doing it. You're looking at it.
This?
I'm practicing.
Reporting me is defending the Constitution.
Is this not my right to do so?
I didn't say that.
Is this not my right to do so?
Nobody said that. I asked you
Is it my right to do so? What's not forbidden is allowed.
You still didn't answer the question.
What's not forbidden? So let me tell
You
you.
have talking points. You're like a politician trying to get a job.
No, that's not true. Because you know what? You want to hear something crazy? Out of all the cops that I've asked about the First Amendment, only one knew it. You know how he learned it? From my channel. And I don't get paid by the government. As a matter of fact, you get a welfare check, bro. I'm not shaking at all.
The discussion shifts to the Ninth Amendment, the forgotten guardian of unspoken rights. The officer stumbles again, unable to define it. The auditor patiently explains. It means what's not forbidden is allowed. It protects freedoms not even listed. That's the beauty of the Constitution. It anticipates liberty beyond words, but the irony is painful. The citizen is teaching the law to the law enforcer. Cameras roll. Voices stay calm, but the imbalance is clear. When authority forgets the meaning of freedom, it's up to the people to remind them, not with anger, but with truth and courage.
Yeah, you do, because you work for the system. You get the same.
Did I get a welfare check when I was in the military?
You get a welfare check now. You get a welfare check now.
When I was in the military?
But you're asking me if I get paid from the government, right?
No, I didn't ask you. I never asked you that. I asked you what you did to defend the nation.
Well, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Teaching people that.
Recording me with a cell phone is defending this Constitution.
What?
I just asked you.
Yeah, bro, how are you defending the Constitution when you don't even know it? Fair enough, right?
Well, you guys are coming at me, so I'm probably gonna stop talking to you now.
No, bro, let me just say this. I've been doing this for a long time, bro, and there's a reason why I got 600,000 supporters, not subscribers, supporters, because, and I gotta tell you, most of the people that follow me are men between 35 to 55 and throughout the entire nation, bro. I got people that follow me in Canada, Australia, the UK.
Canada, 51st state?
Not yet.
Governor Trudeau? That guy?
I don't like to get into politics. Like, in reality, I'll just say this, bro. In reality, if everybody knew not to believe in masters, but to believe in themselves and empower themselves with the understanding of what the Constitution is, bro, it is an empowerment, bro.
That's the thing, though. Our channels are based completely on the opposite side of politics. That has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with the Constitution.
Yeah, man, it's simple. The Constitution. Would you not agree it's a good thing?
As time goes on, the mood begins to ease. The officer shows signs of discomfort, maybe even a bit of embarrassment. The auditor responds with understanding, mentioning past encounters and even apologizing for earlier tension. This shows how accountability can exist without anger. Real growth doesn't come from putting someone down. It comes from facing the truth. The same officer who once viewed the camera as a problem now starts to see its real purpose: education. Respect isn't about blind obedience. It's about clear understanding. What started as a tense moment turns into something more meaningful. A chance for both sides to reflect and improve when conversation takes the place of ego.
Can I educate you on the Ninth Amendment?
I don't really want to talk to you guys anymore.
So the Ninth Amendment. We have rights as a people that are not enumerated in the first 8 amendments, right? That means we have rights that are not even talked about yet, right? So, because like I said earlier, what's not forbidden is allowed. But yeah, man, you're
Don't ever go in the back seat, son.
And I didn't mean to come off as being rude in any way, man. You know, this is just a conversation, man. As a matter of fact, let me just say this. This gentleman right here, I think I was rude to him a long time ago, bro, but today we had a good conversation. Huh?
You know which video it is?
It was a long time ago, bro. It was a long time ago. I was mean to you. You don't remember? You didn't watch it? You didn't watch it? Or?
I know what incident it was.
Yeah? Was I an asshole, bro? Be honest.
Talking to me?
I was.
Call me a name, but whatever.
I was an asshole, bro.
We had a few more run-ins, and then we were always good after. You and the guy is, I have to talk to you.
I don't talk to the Casey camera boy guy. He's a fucking punk.
I don't know his name, but
When the Ninth Amendment comes up again, the officer finally starts to understand. He begins to see that rights don't have to be listed to still exist. They are still protected. The auditor explains this in a practical way, linking it to things like parental rights, personal expression, and basic human dignity. He points out that people spend so much time focused on politics and entertainment, yet the Constitution should be the main focus, that it's a message that hits hard. Freedom isn't just something written down long ago. It's an ongoing agreement between the people and those in power. And when one side forgets that responsibility, it's up to the other to remind them, sometimes with a camera in hand.
Yeah. You're good. You're good. Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. Word. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
We started running him along too. Always good.
But I can't let you go without asking you too, man.
You already asked me.
The First Amendment.
Yeah.
Today? I didn't ask you today, did I?
I was the first person to ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You gonna know it next time I talk to you?
Yeah.
What's the Ninth Amendment? We have rights that are not talked about or enumerated within the first 8. That means what's not forbidden is allowed. That means, like, for instance, parental rights fall under that, right? Dude, these are things that I believe that nobody in this country is really talking about. We're worried about politics. We're worried about all kinds of shit. That is the most important shit in the nation, bro. Once we all know it, it helps you guys and it helps us, bro. Seriously. You're dope. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, hey, this is gonna be on the news. This is gonna be on the news, bro. This is gonna be on the news. We're working for the news. Hey, why do people want to lick boots so much, bro? They think because you're being recorded that it's a bad thing, right?
We get used to it. That's the thing.
You're already used to it. This guy's not, man.
I was telling you earlier.
He's used to being recorded. You're not yet, man. You think of it as a negative thing, and it's not, bro. You're rude.
I'm not rude.
Nah, you actually, you didn't raise your voice or nothing. You all right, but you were just defensive, man. You're defensive.
Loaded questions and you were being
That's not a loaded question.
That's a loaded question. Come on, let's talk.
You're tripping. You're tripping. You're tripping, bro. I hope your shoelaces are tight, because you're tripping, bro.
As the interaction comes to an end, the message becomes clear. The officer may not have answered the questions correctly, but he remained calm, and that in itself is something positive. Still, one thought lingers. How can anyone protect rights they don't fully understand? True strength comes from knowledge, not just a position of authority. That's why recording situations like this matters. That's why learning and sharing information matters. Every view, every comment, and every share helps spread awareness and move things in the right direction. So keep documenting, keep asking questions, and keep learning. Because when people stop understanding their rights, those freedoms can slowly fade away without anyone noticing.